Oh look, is that possibly another batch 2 loco turning up? Let me move this out your way. We are back again. It's a good day. It's a good day. This is the long-awaited batch 2. And you're thinking, batch 2 of what? Well, I shall show you very shortly, because I ain't gonna keep you in suspense, because I haven't actually seen this loco. I haven't looked in the bag or anything like that, so this will be my first reactions to it. But before I show you, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos. And obviously if you've left a comment, I shall get back to you very, very soon. And going on the comments thing, I have found that when I do reply back to, well, most people on YouTube, in the comment section, not all the time it comes up with the person who left the comment with their account or channel. So if I've liked it and loved it, it means usually I have replied back to you. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. Obviously just keep an eye on it. If I've liked it and loved it, usually means I've replied back. We're well above 1,400 subscribers, so thank you to everyone who's joining me on this journey. This is good. This is a good day. And secondly, it wouldn't be the same without a good cup of tea. So cheers. Oh, that's a good cup of tea. Right, let's get to it. Right, safety first. I did actually cut myself on one unboxing, and you're thinking, Martin, why are you grabbing it by the blade? Well, it's quite secure in my hand. It was I actually caught it with my other hand, so, and plus the blade is quite long, so it tends to flex a bit. So please welcome to the incredible batch 2. Get rid of that paperwork. Cavalex Class 60. Right, regarding pricing, locos are, the sound locos are $295.95, but Rouse of Sheffield do require a £30 deposit, and I paid that way back whenever they released the colours, so I only had to pay £264.95, so it brings the bill down just a little bit, which is quite nice. Here we go. This is what it's all about. So what do we have? We have an ESU Lock Sound V5 in this loco. We have the standard high quality orange Cavalex box with a, so this is satiny colour, and this is a gloss finish. And on the back you also have a beautiful diagram of underneath. So yeah, here we go. What have we got? Whew. Right, what we have is a function list. I won't go too much into too much detail because I have already done it with 60010. That has got everything on that particular video, and an incredible book as well. You honestly, if you want to drive this properly, you read it. Here we go. Are you ready? Woo! Look at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EWS 60018. Oh, the maroon and gold looks absolutely stunning. But you don't want to see it in the cradle. You want to hear some history of this loco and see the detail as well. So here we go. Our very own loco, class 60018, was accepted into traffic on the 30th of October 1990. When on the production line, it originally had a works build number of 920, but later became 946. Along with all the other class 60s built before ours and the ones built after, all came with various issues. From the likes of the driver's window needing to be a 3-piece unit instead of a 2-piece unit. This was down to the latter giving poor visibility when reversing a train. Some other issues were more major, including suspension, exhaust emissions entering the clean air room to the engine overheating, are just to name a few. For the ones that don't know, all 100 Class 60s when first released received names. Ours was called Moyle Shabod, and this is a 872 metre or 2,861 foot mountain in Snowdonia in northwest Wales. Other names used were Steadfast, which was on 60001, Great Gable on 006, Wild Boarfowl on 019, Brecon Beacons on 040 and Backtor on 064. Over the fleet's short career, many Class 60s received different names, such as Swindon Dalesman on 059. 002 received the name High Peak, which is a mountain range in Derbyshire, and the Railway Observer went on 001. But probably the two most famous names given were Teenage Spirit on 60074 and was painted in a beautiful powder blue. This was in support of children's cancer charity. And the second is Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and this was on 60081 and was in the stunning GWR green. Moving back to our loco, and ours only received the one name throughout its working life, but it did receive a different branding after privatisation and then later a new livery. When our loco was placed into revenue service work, it was assigned to the construction sector, along with 30 other classmates. After that came the three shadow companies, Loadhaul, Mainline and Transrail. Ours went to Mainline, but it never received the beautiful aircraft blue house colours gracing its bodywork. Only a couple of years would pass and all three shadow companies would be bought up by Wisconsin Central Railroad, but the UK side of the business was originally called North and South Railways. This was eventually changed to English, Welsh and Scottish, but most of us know it as EWS. Our loco under EWS control gained the striking maroon and gold livery. The last depot 60018 was allocated to was Toton, the first depot being Thornaby. 2007 rolls round and EWS was sold to DB Schenker, and by mid-2009 there were around only 15 operational Class 60s on the network. Ours was not one of them. It was in May 2009 our loco turned its last wheels in service, and as far as I'm aware 60018 still wearing its faded maroon and gold EWS livery sits in a siding at Toton, waiting its next fate, even to this day. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail as I've covered this before, but I will give you a little taster. So where shall we start? Let's start at the striking livery. That really sets this loco apart from most other colour schemes. It's the beautiful maroon and gold of EWS, which is finished to an incredible standard with crisp, clean, sharp edges throughout. Up to the roof, and here we see the depth and definition of the roof hatches, gutters, edge brass grills over the radiators, and also the beautiful exhaust silencer that is actually suspended above the bodywork. With this particular loco, and when it was modelled, it has all three vents on the roof, three either side. Moving down to the front, and we are greeted with lines that capture the Class 60's appearance perfectly, with wipers, horns, sprung buffers, warning labels and the correct lighting, are all just to name a few incredible examples. Moving in, and it is treated like everywhere else with perfection and precision, from all various levers, dials, seats, fire alarm on the back wall and even the driver's fan. Back outside, and down to everything underneath the bodyline, and everywhere you feast your eyes on is lavished in beautiful, fine detail, from the likes of white air pipes, all brake rigging, sandboxes, even brake shoes. That's right, brake shoes are even modelled. Moving in, and we have a highly detailed twin air compressors, one either side of the loco. We also have fire extinguishers, a highly detailed fuel tank with gauges, and all various inlets and outlets. And to top it all off, we even have the battery isolator switch. With this variant of Class 60, the air tank still sits between the twin air compressors. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes to the bottom part of the Class 60. So what do we have? So this one here is 60010, and that was my first loco, and if you can't see that this has the extended fuel tank underneath, and this one here retains the original air tanks that sits between the two air compressors. So with this one, the air tank would be moved to inside the actual bodywork itself. Also, for the ones that don't know, we had slight issues with batch 1, and it was pinpointed to the lead axle of both bogies. So both outer axles of the bogies, of each bogie. But in the repair kit, they gave you both sets. So both sets, so this one and this one, are driving axles. This one, it's a floating axle, so that didn't need to be replaced. So the remedy was to replace this outer one, and if it was still noisy, you replace this one as well. And if you don't know, if you can gaze your eyes through here, this has a replacement axle as well. So obviously they would have made thousands of wheels, and unfortunately, obviously, they found out that the tolerances were too tight. So the lead one on this second batch have been replaced as well. Did you? It sounds so good. Obviously, it's exactly the same as my 60010, but it really does sound phenomenal. I will do a cold start up when I actually run it with a freight train. I will do a cold start up, because with the ZTC, every time you push a number, you have to push enter, and to initiate a cold start and get the driver to walk through the doors and initiate putting the key in, etc., etc., you have to push enter 3 times, and it's difficult to do it in a quick succession. Absolutely brilliant, it really is. This is obviously the lid. That is the lid for that. This is the 21 pin ESU Locksound V5 decoder, and we also have the speaker there. And just for comparison, we also have class 6010 next to it as well. There you go. And this just fits on, and don't get your fingers caught because you might get them cut off. But obviously you don't want to hear me waffling on. You want to see this pulling a train, and all I'm going to say is a stone train out of Peak Forest. So enough of me waffling on. So sit back and relax and enjoy this. Well, what do you think? Yeah, this is how I envisioned it. So basically, if you don't know, I tried to replicate a train coming out of Peak Forest. That is what I've tried to replicate. So before I go into too much details about other things, the reason why you heard the brakes wheel still going while the train was actually stopped is because the wagons over here are snagging slightly. I don't know, I'm not too sure where or which ones, but yeah, so that's why it brought the train to a halt prematurely. Regarding wagons, so we have the D-branded C-Mex wagons. So those were a special edition through Trains for You. So I got 2 packets of those. They are all individually numbered. We also have the RMC Ready Mix Cement wagons. I think for this era they would have been the RMC branding would have been painted over. They're obviously Bachmann, and they are 25, 20 years old, whatever, and they still run absolutely perfect. They're all weathered apart from one, and don't you worry, that will get weathered. And the same with the Buxton Lime, the very outstanding Buxton Lime wagon. And we also have the EWS HOA, so the D-branded C-Mex HOAs, and you also have the EWS HOAs as well. So they would have been, for what I've modelled here in the era, they would have been pretty clean wagons as well. So yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. It really, really is. So this is batch 2, but I like to call it batch 1.1 or 1.2, whatever. So these colours were released with the initial colours. So yeah, and it runs absolutely perfect. It really does. I have a slight issue. I broke a bit off. I broke a buffer. There we go. I broke a buffer. It got buffer locked. Got buffer locks between this wagon and the loco itself, and yeah, I snapped off. It's a clean snap, so I can glue it back on. It should be fine. They are sprung loaded buffers, so yeah. So that's let's find this. So there we go. Broke it. Never mind. It is, like I say, it's a clean break. It is a clean break, so that's all fine. So I'll glue that back on. And like I say, honestly, read the book that comes with the sound ones. So I'll just give you a quick rundown basically of what this is. So it's just like to stable the loco, this should be when arriving at a yard and remaining attached to the train, or when being left in a depot or to be taken over by another driver later on. You will need to do the following. So this is if you're just going to be stabling the train, and this is if you want to shut down the train. And it's just, honestly, that Cavalex have gone through so much to immerse yourself in this, and it's like I say, it's not until you start reading it you just think, bloody hell, wow. So yeah, so I have tried to follow the instructions, if you like, because obviously I'm not a real train driver. I wouldn't even know what I'm doing, just to obviously make it sound even more authentic. Are there any left? Yes, I think there are some left, and honestly, grab it while you can, because they are absolutely incredible. They really, really are. Obviously, I'm fully aware that most of you aren't going to be running it on a full-length train. Obviously, I am, and this is quite a heavy train. It really, really is a heavy train. So it probably, I mean, like I say, I wouldn't mind three more wagons to take it up. I think this is 21. Somebody will have to count for me to take it up to around about the 24 mark. So yeah, absolutely incredible. It really, really is. And I have a few more as well, and there's a couple more that I wouldn't mind getting, just purely because I know the liveries that I'm after. So I'd just like to say a massive thank you to my brother for allowing me to run my trains around, and his 37. We did have another loco on here that was causing a little bit of issue, so it kept on cutting the layout out, so we had to put this this is an old Bachmann class 37, and obviously the JNAs from Revolution Trains as well. Obviously I'm fully aware that these probably would have never seen these wagons, or the JGA wagons, but it's modeller's rights, isn't it? So yeah, would I get one? Absolutely, hell yes. That's why I've got a few more on order as well. So I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos, and obviously if you want to leave a comment, please feel free. And like I say, keep an eye out. If I've liked it and loved it, it means usually I've replied back to you. So obviously don't think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. So because the name of the person who left a comment doesn't always come up. So yeah, if I've liked it and loved it, means I've usually replied back. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. See you later.